Hello again from my front porch. This is an interesting episode. Yeah, I've made some decisions. Well, some decisions were made for me that kind of led to some other decisions. But I've decided to start winding down this program. I just have. Part of the reason being, it's been a while since we last were together on one of these episodes, and then before that, it was a while. And these are becoming more and more scattered, and finding the time to do this has become more and more of a challenge. And so it really is getting to a point where, as much as I've enjoyed doing this, I think it is time to hang it up. And it kind of goes, when I started this program, it was because Ashley was getting married and my life was going to be changing. I wasn't even sure what that meant, what my life was going to look like. And it was almost like documenting my growth as an individual, as a standalone. I went from being married for nearly 30 years, and then having, being the dad and having my daughter and stuff hanging with me. Before I got married, I was in college with a roommate. Before that, I was at home with my family. And, I never really was on my own. I was never just my own person. And so this last decade or so has been really all about that. I guess 11 years, technically, since my divorce, has been about that sense of self-discovery. And so I feel like I have achieved quite a bit in that period of time. I have really become much more self-aware, much more. I feel a greater sense of ownership of my own life, my own future, if you will. And so, it feels like, for me at least, if this program has been my personal therapeutic sessions that you've all had to endure going through as well, I feel like it's accomplished what it needed to do. Now, of course, there have been plenty of other fun things that we've talked about as well. I've interviewed some people that have been really insightful and entertaining. I've spotlit some events and some locations. And honestly, there's still some of those kind of things that I would like to explore, that I would like to try to do some things on. And so that's why this is not the final episode. Around the September timeframe is where the anniversary of this show would come around. And I guess I'm kind of foreseeing carrying it out until that point, to actually complete out at this final season of the show. And then we'll just hang it up at that point. I can't guarantee how many more episodes there will be, because my work life has really become a dynamic that is occupying more and more of my time, and my personal life, my relationship, with Deb, who you will be meeting very soon. Not this episode, but it's another thing that will happen before we wrap this up. I am enjoying getting the opportunity to spend greater and greater amounts of time with her also. And so that's changed perspective. Speaking of which, she and I actually, this is a secret, don't tell anybody, she and I have started brainstorming about some things that we could do together. They won't be like the front porch stuff, be more entertaining, if you will. And I don't want to tell you anymore. I don't want to give away any more than that. Just you'll see about it. You'll hear about it. But and this wasn't even my idea. This is her idea. And so I'm excited to see what happens in those areas as well. But this sort of end of an era kind of feeling has already been creeping up on me. It's not even just the concepts of this show and maintaining all this, but like singing national anthems. I've enjoyed doing that here around the central Iowa area for many years, over 20 years, starting with the Iowa Cubs. And well, increasingly those opportunities have started to dry up. There was a period of time there where I was pretty in demand and was getting requested to do a lot of those. And and I loved it. I'm not bragging. I'm not complaining. It was a fact, and I really enjoyed doing that. But increasingly, the state fair last year opted to not do anything with me. I kept hounding them, trying to get in, and they didn't want that. The Iowa Wolves, the basketball team, for a good period of time there, I was kind of their on-call and heavily used anthem singer, doing multiple games every season. And now it's down to I'm lucky if I can even get in one. And sometimes I feel like I'm begging for them to let me go in and do that. So that's dwindled down. And the Iowa Cubs, even where I started doing all this with, I did 21 seasons with them, but I won't be doing it this year. They decided this year that for the most part they wanted to have a fresh crop of performers and to release themselves from the burden of having that. This is not their language. This is my interpretation. That instead of carrying over a big crop of returning anthem singers and then trying to work in a handful of other new ones, that they had great turnout at their auditions this year, and they wanted to incorporate a lot more of those new people. And so they made the decision to sort of retire some of us who, most of us who have been doing it for them a lot, and give other people the opportunity. And it's heartbreaking. It's bittersweet for me, but by the same token, I know how much I've enjoyed it, and I can't fault somebody else getting that opportunity. And then there are other things. There's other things that I would do at what was Wells Fargo Arena, now Casey Center, other events. It came to the rodeo, the monster truck. I did get to sing at the rodeo again earlier this year. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. But the monster truck thing, nope. They went a different direction and had somebody else. And again, I'm not whining about this. I'm just saying, I'm noticing that, again, for a while there, I was like, I was doing these things, and now there doesn't seem, they want to go different directions and stuff, and that's okay. That's fine. But again, it's end of an era kind of stuff. And I've noticed this in other ways of my life. And I just kind of feel like I'm at a really crucial transition point, or really significant transition point. And there's other things that are going to be changing that you're going to hear more about as well in the months to come. And I'm excited about some of those transition things too. But this show, this sitting here on the front porch, and just sharing some time together, I have enjoyed this. I have really enjoyed this, and I wish that I could have been doing more of it here more recently. But the reality is, I have to do the stuff I get paid to do, and it's not even just what I get paid to do. It's a shifting of priority. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, and yet some people only do these things, and some people only do those things, and some people do a whole bunch of things, and we all sit back and think, how in the world do you? Well, it's a matter of priority. How do you rank your time? What matters to you most? And I'm discovering that what matters to me most, where I want to prioritize my time, has evolved. It has shifted, and in healthy ways, and I'm okay with that. And so, I was like, how does this all fit into what I'm feeling? Well, I think that's how it fits in. I think we now do the farewell tour, if you will. We do the swan song stuff. Like I said, I have a list of some things that I still had hoped to do on these videos, and I'm going to still try to check those things off the list, at least as many as I can before we're done. Yeah, I think it's time to bring it to a close at the end of season 10, which is what we're in right now. It'd be a good point to draw that, bring the curtain down, if you will. So, whether you've been with me since the beginning or not, I mean, even the hair, end of an era. Whether you've been with me since the beginning and the whole time, or you've jumped on this train at other point in between, whatever the case may be, I thank you for indulging me. I thank you for being along for this journey. And yeah, I hope that you will enjoy the things that are remaining, the things that I try to accomplish with this before we're done. And we'll just have some fun with that. That's it. So until next time, I'll let you all go. I'll see you from my front porch.